Blessings on top of blessings out there to all our brethren. For those who don't believe, please receive the free gift of salvation. We'd like to welcome you guys back to another episode of Trending in Truth. And on this episode, we already know what we're going to talk about, so we're going to get straight into it. And this topic is pertaining to the situation with the female getting stabbed up on a train station. And obviously, the thing that's really big is the Charlie Kirk assassination. So we're going to get right into it, guys. So let's talk about it. So obviously, Charlie Kirk just got assassinated yesterday. That's what the story is. There's a lot to talk about because we have a lot of videos surfacing, a lot of stories going around. And at the end of the day, this is still fresh. So we can only talk about what we seen, what we heard, but ultimately we cannot give 100% factual evidence on these things because nobody really knows yet. So a lot of the things we're going to be talking about when it comes to this episode is just some may be speculation, some may be just our opinions, our truths, but you know, this is a trending topic, so we're going to talk about it. So let's get to the situation with the female in the train station first. So Jay, I know you've seen it. You just seen the footage a little while ago, right?
Yeah, I seen it yesterday. I saw it.
Yeah. So this happened a couple days ago. This is what was surfacing. And basically, long story short, and again, before we get into that, we're not going to, usually in our episodes, we give receipts, we show videos, but we're not going to do that because we kind of want to try to get this episode out as quick as possible.
So not to mention, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere, yeah.
Videos anywhere.
Yeah, I could do y'all research and look at that. So this lady sitting on the train, a black man is behind her. Mind you, she's a white woman. A black man is behind her, and he gets up and he stabs her, slices her in the neck, whatever the case is, and this is how the story starts. One of the things that's been going on, you know, because a lot of these things turn into conspiracies, and I'm not saying that to make fun of the conspiracies because we're conspiracy people ourselves. A lot of the times they label things conspiracies that are truth in order to take away from what the truth is.
Yeah.
So, you know, we understand those things. But a lot of people think that it was real. The dude just got up there and stabbed her. A lot of people think that it was set up to a point where it was fake and it was staged. So, Jay, from what you saw on that particular video, what's your take?
All right, so to tap in on just what you can see from the surface, right?
Right.
For me, just seeing like the whole stage was empty except for them two, right? Don't know where they were traveling to, but the camera seemed to be pointed at the perfect spot.
Right.
Right?
Because there was other people on the train, though.
Right,
yeah.
there was other people there,
right.
no doubt. But that spot that the camera was focused on,
straight on them,
was just completely empty, right? And perfectly aimed at these two, right?
Well, I don't think that that's the original footage. I think that that's a zoomed in footage.
Okay,
that's how I feel about it. I mean, it doesn't
however
look
it
clean
was given,
enough
right,
to be like the open, the open view, the regular view. It looks
because there is another viewpoint of a camera. I'm not sure if it's the same camera where you see a couple people sitting.
You know what's
in the
real
other chairs.
sketchy to me? Like if you setting something up on a train, and you're trying to be inconspicuous, right? You don't face the camera and with your hands up on top of the seat, practically opening up whatever blade you're about to use.
Right.
Like you would be
on the low.
At least I would think so.
Yeah.
If I was trying to sneakily set up a stabbing on somebody, I'm not gonna be right there in the open up for everybody to be watching me open up my knife and do whatever, right? So that was sketchy to me. And then, I couldn't tell if he was stabbing her or slicing her because the angle, the way he was doing it. I thought he was like slicing, whatever.
To me, it looked like a nice pick.
Okay.
That's what it looked like to me. Like it looked, because you don't really see a lot of body on whatever it is that he used. It looked real super thin.
But it looked like old boy was opening it though, right?
I think, man, honestly, man.
It's hard to tell.
It's just hard to tell when you look at that video.
One thing that I did notice the very first time that I watched it, when he did what he did, immediately I saw spots of blood or whatever it was, right? There was drops of it,
dripping
towards the lower angle of the camera and off to the side. So I was like, oh, like as if during the whip you got blood that just sprinkled out, or if you stab somebody and blood sprays out, it kind of looked a little bit like that. But then, she covers herself and you don't see any blood when she's covering herself.
Right,
So it was weird as hell.
Right.
I mean, I know that there is people that would talk about if they've been stabbed, like that takes a minute to leak out. Like when you puncture, especially with like a thin. That's why I said it looked to me like an ice pick, and I feel like the way of the reaction of the blood would be more like ice pickish, where you're bleeding more internally, and then it leaks out later.
Right.
You know, but again, like,
you know what else was sketchy as hell? Like, I don't see the person reacting the way you should if you're being stabbed.
I just rewatched it right now again too. That's what I was just looking at.
It's sketchy. Like you're not screaming.
Like, she's just looking at him like
in shock.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like she's getting stabbed and gets in shock.
Right.
Like you're not yelling.
Right.
There's other people around. Like you're not calling attention. You're not screaming from the hurt of the and pain of the stabbing.
You would think she would hold the point where she got punctured at. It's like she just was like here type stuff like.
And just like with her phone in her hand.
Listen, that's the sketchiest.
She didn't let go of her phone.
Like
who, you know, you get stabbed. Like you're not holding on to anything. You accept whatever you're trying to hold together on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It just seemed weird.
Yeah.
And then, you know, she slumps over and falls forward, and then you see the spot of blood on the seat.
Right.
You know, and it was like, all right, well, that was also like, how the hell? You know what I mean? How would it get there like that? You know, and initially there was spots of blood, but then when you looked at her, you didn't see anything on her arms, on her shirt.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what am I looking at here?
Yeah, it was weird.
And then she was holding on, right, to the I guess the little cubicle,
like
that's the rail or whatever, and then let's go, and then all of a sudden, you know, all of this blood falls over, and for me, it felt like really quick, like real thin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like really thin liquid, whatever it was. And so I'm watching it, just taking it in for the first time, like, oh snap, you know? And then I start seeing other people commenting and other videos being put out, and I start looking at it again, and I'm like, man, you know what? I think that, you know, my thinking of what I initially saw, this looks weird, this looks fishy, camera angle perfect, her not reacting a certain way, guy being mad obvious that he was getting ready, you know, and I was like, all right, wait a minute, now this is starting to lean to me
let's
more
rewatch
towards
this or rethink
fake,
this.
right. And then you know, seeing the blood spill out the way it did when she fell over, I didn't like that for whatever reason, you know. And I think overall, at the end of the day, that to me looked too fake, too staged.
Right.
You know, in my opinion. Then somebody pointed out when she was holding on to the railing, she was like also reaching for something or doing something with her hand.
Yeah, when she was like down, like you can see like her hand like going by the seat.
Right.
And then that's when she like put her hand down. Then all of a sudden,
boom,
then all the blood starts to flow on the floor.
Right.
So it's just like, did you have a packet of blood and then just like ping, ping,
exactly. Because what's interesting to me is if you fall forward, it's like you don't really see her move too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To then all of a sudden, all this blood just comes out of nowhere. I don't know. To me, it just seems she was already in that position. Yeah. Whatever blood would have started coming out slowly, and then would have leaked.
Yeah,
like puddled up.
Like it squirted out.
Like it came out mad hard.
Mad
fast.
It's funny because
like,
I didn't see that until the video you sent me before.
Yeah, it looked too weird,
and it just brings more questions about the whole thing. Like my initial reaction when I saw it was like, "Oh snap!" It looked crazy. It just looked barbaric. Like my man had no reason to just like he snapped something and him snapped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I hear the arguments, like I'm just like, wow, I just don't know. Like I'm like, bro, like, is it a possibility that something, you know, that maybe she leans a certain way would cause something to squirt out? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I have issues with like stamping anything when it comes to these things because I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yep. Like well, I will say that there is a few things that look fishy, like what you brought up when she got stabbed, and she was like, it did like she doesn't look like a person who got stabbed. 4 or 5 times.
Right.
Like she's just like looking at dude and like
yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
I understand people get in shock, like when certain things happen. Yeah. So I understand that part, but like you're saying, bro, like
you get stabbed. You ain't screaming?
Yeah, you in a couple seconds, you like, or whatever, something. She was just like she was just scared, like somebody just came up on her, was like, boo, at night, she just got scared.
Right.
That's how it looked.
If there's
Real
one
weird.
red flag about that video is that for me.
Yeah.
It's that I'm like, damn. And you know what's funny? But when I first saw it, I was like, damn. And then I was like, damn, she kind of didn't react. That was a thought I had.
Yeah.
But, but at the same time, man, I think, like, for me, instantly I was like, damn, that sucks. And that took over. You know what I mean? I'm immediately empathetic. And I'm like, damn, yo, like, shorty was young, white, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, white had nothing to do it, but like a little white, my thinking like little white girl getting stabbed by a bigger dude, you know what I'm saying? In that aggressive way, I was like, damn. Yeah. So I didn't really do any extra research when it came to all the conspiracies around it. You know what I'm saying? But when I look and I see some of these things, I'm like, well, they do raise some flags for me, you know what I mean? But yo, man, listen, man, at the end of the day, if it was real, prayers to her family. And if it wasn't, shame on you, you know what I mean? Like, what are we going to do with that?
You want to comment?
I want to say, so just after I say this, remind me about the picture. Or you can even talk about it. But what I want to say to the audience really quick, like if you're watching this and you're like, what are these guys talking about? You see the footage and what happened. How can you guys think it's something crazy going on behind that? Like if it's a conspiracy. So like within our research of all these years and, just the Lord revealing how the enemy works, we understand that, the elite and the people in charge are able to set things up. The same way we watch a Hollywood movie is the same way that these things can be also set up. You may, even when you see situations where there's like big crowds, you're like, so you really could set that up? Yes. There's a thing called crisis actors. Whether you believe it or not, it's true. You could go online right now and put crisis actors and they actually hire people to do certain events. And there's certain past events that I could bring up. One situation that comes to mind is like the Sandy Hook thing, that they have specific crisis actors where you'll see in one event that happened years ago, they'll post a picture, this teacher died, show a picture of her and everything. Then 10 years later, there's another event that happens and you see the same teacher or the same person saying that she just died in this event. So you start to put these things together. You're like, wait, I thought this lady died 10 years ago, but it happened so long ago that most people don't put it together. So yes, we know that they can stage events. So this is why when we see things, of course, we're human beings. Like June said, you get sympathetic when it comes to certain things. Right. But we are called to test things and not get so emotional off of the first time we see something because we get caught up in it.
Right. I think it's important to mention why the staging takes place.
Okay.
Right. Obviously, there's an agenda to every time they do this kind of crisis thing. Right. And it's to push whatever that agenda is.
Order out of chaos.
Right. So if it's like they want to get more strict on guns in America,
gun control.
The gun control, they do something with guns, and somebody shoots up a school, little kids get killed. They want to hype things up like we seen with the BLM and George Floyd.
Exactly.
That's what this one kind of reminded me of.
Yeah.
And so but there's an agenda there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that during COVID at the same time.
Right.
And so it just in the COVID, stuff that we dealt with, and I think it's important for like just everything that you mentioned for people to understand. This is the reason why they do these crisis acting. Setups. Right.
And another thing too, guys, with the times we're in now, the technology that they have now, it makes it far worse than it used to be.
Yep.
Because now with this AI, you don't know what you're seeing.
Right.
Like I was telling June before, we can no longer trust our physical eyes. We need to start relying on our spiritual eyes now, because we can actually sit there and look at something and think that's what happened when really that's not really what happened.
Right.
And you will fight me tooth and nail and say, this is what I saw. And I'm like, I know what you saw and I know what I saw, but there's a deeper agenda behind it. It's like we're wrestling against spiritual wickedness in high places and principalities. It's just like, when Moses was having a conversation with the Pharaoh was able to do something with a snake and make the staff turn into a snake, because he was just implementing what Moses was able to do. So there are false signs, miracles, and wonders. It's all magic. It's all sigil magic. And with TV and Hollywood, this is what they do. That's why it's called brainwashing. So I say that to say, don't believe your eyes, because you can get easily deceived.
All right, well, if there's one thing that we know from this, in this past year, and even over a year ago, bro, you start to see this AI stuff roll out, and all the things that we see, and we think we see real things,
right?
And it's like, oh no, this is just AI, and almost everybody is duped, except for those who have it in the back of their mind, like this could be AI, just because it's possible nowadays.
Right.
We don't really have to have any other proof outside of that.
Absolutely.
It's very possible. Why not this?
Yep.
Why can't this be AI? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's the scariest part about everything. Like, we don't know what's real or what's not.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's just scary.
It's hard to determine
Right.
what direction they're trying to funnel us into.
Right.
You know,
Just
and
keep in mind, like, not everything that you see is real.
Right.
Not everything that you see is real. Like, this is the world we're living in now.
This situation reminded me of like, well, why did they do George Floyd the way
Right.
they did him?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you start going down that rabbit hole, and
sure.
and it's like, all right, well, what agendas are being pushed right now? You know, who's in charge? What ways do they operate and function?
Right.
You know, as the scripture says, is like the lawless one comes, and his kingdom operates the way that Satan operates.
Absolutely, bro.
The way that Satan does, and we know Satan is a deceiver, right? The
Right.
deception.
Yep.
So it's deep.
Absolutely. And even with this situation, like we were talking about the crisis actors, like even the shorty that got stabbed
Cut
up
up.
or whatever, like there's a meme out there. You guys could go do your own research, but they show a picture of the same girl, and it says that this chick was basically a medic who got murdered in Bakhmut, wherever that is, Ukraine, on April 15th, some years ago.
Yeah. So
when
a
you look-
medic who was killed in Ukraine.
Yes, years ago. But
Yep.
when you look at the pictures, it looks identical.
Right.
So what we want the audience to understand is this is not the first time this has happened, where you see these people who are like, wow, this was happening, that thing that happened a couple years ago, but that's the same person now that they're saying she just died.
Right.
She just, maybe they dyed their hair, grew a beard, or whatever the case is.
Yep.
But it seems very crazy, but these things do go on because the God of this world is the master deceiver. And
The thing that I think that we should highlight when it comes to this, because I know people are probably like, "Yo, these dudes might be bugging."
yeah.
But this is not an event that took place out in the open where everybody could see. Understand that this was in a train or a bus, whatever. I think it's a train, right?
The train, yeah.
But it's not that difficult to set up a couple of people in the train
Yeah.
who are who've been paid to act a certain way.
Right.
It's
Dude.
not that crazy.
How do you know that train is even on a track?
This is what I'm
Right.
saying. This is what I'm saying.
You're just
That whole
looking at the
thing,
inside of a box.
Right.
We only see what they allow us to see.
Right.
Yep.
The point is, it's the same way like a stage.
We don't
Yeah.
get to
It's
see the
the same
fourth
thing.
wall.
Exactly.
We don't get to see the fourth
Exactly.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, we're not crazy for thinking like this. You know, we again, we're not saying that this is what it is either. But leave some space. Don't
Right.
stamp. You know, don't plant your flag anywhere. We don't know
Right.
what's real or what isn't nowadays. And that's what we're saying. Again, if it's real, yo,
Yep.
Yep.
But for those people who are looking at things critically, right? From what the bro just said, if the crisis actor was also someone who died in the situation with Ukraine, well, then it goes to show they were playing games with that too.
Right.
Get what I'm
Absolutely,
saying?
bro. Absolutely.
So they had some crisis staged to move us on that Ukraine stuff back then.
At that time,
And now
exactly.
they're using the same actor
Right.
to do something for today's agenda,
Right.
which makes the Ukraine agenda
Right.
fake,
Right.
and whatever they're doing today.
Right.
Fake
You know what I
also.
think is funny though about this whole thing? Like, if that is true, the thing in Ukraine, how stupid do they think we really are?
Yep. Well, I
That
mean,
these
You know,
niggas-
most are sheeple.
they
Most are
Yo,
sheeple.
bro, but listen,
they've gotten this country to give away all of their freedoms.
What?
bro,
You know,
Yo, we live
with
in
everything
fear, yo.
since 9/11
Right.
to
they talk
and
on
even
some emotional
beforehand.
strings and get you to do whatever
That's
they
what I'm
feel they
saying.
want you to do.
Right.
Yep.
And, you know, and they invoke emotion. It's the same thing
Yep.
like when we watch a movie
Yep.
and they allow you to feel sad.
Right. They
or
play the
happy.
music in the background
Right. They set
and all
the
that.
stage
Exactly.
and then they play with your emotions.
They control the narrative.
So like exactly. So let's
like-
not act like this
Right.
is not something
Yep.
that we've seen.
It's big time, like when they did it during World War II. You know what I'm saying? Like they knew we can use this technology to manipulate the people.
Right.
And you know what? To keep the morale up, they started acting like, oh, the U.S. is doing so well, you know, in the World War II stuff. And Germany was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Promoting their snipers and
Yep.
keeping the morale of their men up.
Right.
By media. You know what I'm saying? And both of them using this tool to their advantage during
Right.
warfare.
Right.
Yeah, the war was real, no doubt. But what they were showing wasn't always real.
Right.
It was
Right.
just to keep the zeal for the people up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, half the wars that we see There's always a hidden agenda.
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly.
They give you one piece of what's going on.
Yep.
Like, if anybody could pay attention, like we know that back in with the 9/11, it's by the way,
I was just
today's
thinking that,
9/11.
Yeah,
Right.
I
You know
was
what
just
I'm
thinking
saying?
that.
That's
And
the
they
wild
were
thing.
blaming who they were blaming first, and then they went to Afghanistan, but they were blaming somebody else first.
Well, they were blaming the couple terrorists that were.
No, but I'm saying they
terrorist
were
groups.
they were talking about a certain country, and then we went to Afghanistan. I
know.
don't think
I don't know.
it wasn't always Afghanistan.
I thought it was always Afghanistan.
Nah, from what I remember, it wasn't.
Yeah, so-
Maybe I'm wrong. It was a long time ago. But you know what I'm saying? Just today is 9/11, and it's
Right.
just again. But we all know what that war was really about, right? Are we
And
confused about that?
even with that 9/11 that you're talking about, like we'll get into the Charlie Kirk next, which you know what I
Right.
mean. But
It follows, right.
yeah, it follows with that too a little bit. But people don't understand how with the situation with 9/11, how that was staged to a certain extent too. Like you have people, there's videos out there where people who were actually there was like, bro, there was no planes. Everything, it looked like a demolition. We heard explosions and things started just falling.
boop. Yep.
Then there's other stories where like there was only one plane and one plane got, you know what I mean? But then when you look at certain videos, like if you slow the video down, you see the plane going in and then it's like CGI, it just like goes away a little bit, like
Yeah,
it never
this
went
video's
through.
about that, bro.
It's
The
crazy.
Same thing with the Pentagon. They were saying that a plane ran into the Pentagon, but the
Right.
plane has wings, and what they saw was a big hole. Where are the wings at?
That's
Where's
what
the
I'm
debris
saying.
at? These are things that people don't pay attention again because they tug on your emotions
And
they tell you how to think.
And how, like you said, they tug on your emotional. How deep and wicked that they're willing to go. At that time when 9/11 was happening, George Bush happened to be George Bush Jr., right? Who was the president?
George W.
George W. He happened to be in a elementary class while the teacher was reading a book to her class.
Right.
He's sitting in there as a special guest. And the teacher, and this is at the moment, everything's happening.
Right.
The teacher has them pointing at like a whiteboard saying, and has the kids repeating after her, and the something plane
Yeah,
hits
I remember the airplane.
the steel as this is happening. And then as they finish reading that, one of the secret agents goes into his ear, tells him something, and that's when he revealed they just hit the Twin Towers. So you're telling me that they'll go so far as, and this is how they do it though, because what the enemy has to do, they have to tell you what they're doing before they do it. You know what I mean? And this is a way it was like, bro, don't say we didn't warn you because we warned you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the enemy works in the spiritual aspect. So as the 9/11 thing was going down, they're actually showing you what's gonna happen seconds later before they announced it to the world.
Right.
That's crazy.
Bro,
So
like
if you don't think
the
that's
world is a
coincidence,
stage,
it's just
man.
crazy.
Right.
The world is a stage, man.
Yep.
You know?
So anything else you got on that, Jay?
But yo, just to be real quick, man, the thing that you mentioned about the 9/11 thing and the bombs going off.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a documentary called Loose Change. It's old. It's like,
I remember that joint.
yeah,
Loose
and it,
Change, Fahrenheit 9/11.
right.
With
That was a movie, I
Michael
think, that
Moore.
came
Yeah,
out.
Michael
Right.
Moore. I believe that's Loose Change. I believe he's
Okay.
in the same. He was the same one that did the both of those, and they reveal a lot of things that will open a lot of people's eyes up.
Yep.
You can believe what you want to believe, man, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, there is reason to believe that was a staged event.
Yeah. But before we leave that particular one, you brought up in that video, you sent us the video of old boy that supposedly stabbed the girl. He was on a phone call saying
Right.
that there was,
He
explain
was
that.
pretty much saying that he was possessed by something, that he had something in his body that allowed pretty much somebody to flip the switch on him.
Wow.
He has no real recollection of doing those things.
So
So that's a whole other ball game.
That's a whole nother subject. Is that real, or are they putting that out there to take
Right.
away from the fact that you know what's going on? You know what I mean? So who knows?
That's that MK Ultra.
Yeah,
That's another topic because that's true
but
too.
just to say, yo, we are not bringing these things and pulling them out of air. These are
Right.
things that are happening right now. It's
Right.
all over social media if you look for the right things. Because if you're one of those people that don't follow nobody who's on that kind of stuff, you might
Yeah.
just see the same old thing over and over. But we're not naive to those things. So we're looking all over the place.
That's why sometimes it's good. Like people get so emotional when things happen, they just go on. It's good to sit back for a little bit, even if it's for a couple hours or a day. Sit back, gather up all the information, see what's being out there, just so you can get a better understanding
Right. Yep.
and you can make better judgment calls.
and
you know?
if nothing else, this is what this episode is doing.
Right.
Giving you that mind state. Like, don't just jump off the cliff right now. Let's sit back and let's meditate on all these things that are happening. Let's listen to what everybody's saying, and then make your own your own judgment on the whole thing.
Right.
Because, like, again, what I know for sure is that I don't know nothing at all when it comes to these things, bro.
For real.
That's what I know. Everything seems weird, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Fishy.
Absolutely. So we're going to move on from that one. That was good, guys. That was a lot of good information. So now let's get to the next big topic, the Charlie Kirk assassination. So that one was big before this happened. Now this is just taking over. So by now everybody's heard about the Charlie Kirk situation. What's really going on? There's a lot of things floating on out there. We already told you about stage crisis actors. We told you about, all these spiritual things that are going on. So what's going on with this situation? So, and listen, guys, we don't have all the information. Like Junie said, bro, there's just so many things floating around. We can't plant our flag anywhere. We could just take what we got and give our assumptions on it. So this is a big one. There's a lot of theories going on out there. There's a lot of theories such as people are saying, he got murdered. Obviously, we see that. There's a lot of people saying that it was an inside job. There's a lot of people saying that Charlie was in on it. There's a lot of people saying that that it was just a local guy who made that shot. There's people saying that shot was so precise that it had to be somebody that was at a high level doing these things, And me and you had a conversation earlier. We may disagree on certain things, and that's good because we always feed off of each other,
Right.
And can none of us sit here and say, I know this for a fact. Right. So this is why we have these good conversations, because these are things that are floating around and we can all bring it together and speak about these things, So with the Charlie Kirk situation, it's crazy. When I first seen it, I was like, what the heck is going on? People started talking about it. And me personally, when I first saw it, I'm just trying to view the video. And the thing that caught my eye, I was like, it looked funny to me because you seen his shirt before, you seen any wound open up, you seen his shirt just go boom. And I was like, that's what caught my eye. And then you see the bullet wound in the neck, and then you see the blood gushing. That's all I caught in the beginning. So I started watching a lot of the videos that were out there, seeing what people were saying, and the conspiracies are coming, and a lot of the things made a lot of sense, but there's just so much to talk about. Where do you want to go with this? You want to start, June? You want to start with it from?
The man froze up.
Yo,
Wait a
listen,
minute.
you know what it is? It's because I don't know what angle to go about this. I'm gonna tell you what
What's funny? For that moment, you look like one of those people where they said the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And it was like
I had a frozen
Got
moment.
stuck.
like a reptilian just got caught out there.
Nah, you know what, man? I'm gonna tell you what. Well, when I found out this was going on, hours, not even hours later, bro, I felt like there was a bunch of Christians, you know what I'm saying? Oh, making certain comments that I just felt like, I'm just gonna say this that we're gonna get into, but I'm just gonna talk about I feel like people are so quick to make their own weird judgments, you know what I'm saying? How many of them really are going to the Father and really praying about these situations?
Right.
Because I see a lot of opinions, and sometimes I'm like, yo, where's the love at for us in Christ, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't care about my man being Republican. I don't care if he was a Democrat.
Right.
I know that my man professed Christ. I'm not sure I don't know the man personally. I'm only speaking on what I can see from the social medias.
Right.
And, sometimes I just feel like social media is so weird and people are so, I don't know if they're pushing, for a trying to get attention off some of the stuff, man.
Right.
I don't know. But I just get a little annoyed by just the way people react to it. That being said, I don't know. I see all those videos, all the something about my man had a ring finger on his ring finger, and then
Had a ring.
my man had a ring
On his ring
finger.
But
and then when he got shot,
then he had
and he
his
went
pinky.
to his pinky.
Yeah.
There's something about a dot on his shirt that it looked like it traveled from here. There's a lot of stuff that I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because again, all of a sudden, I'm like, yo,
That's
what's
almost
real?
That's almost AI-ish, right?
Yeah,
That's pretty wild.
yeah.
The
And I'm
thing,
like,
the
bro,
thing on his
what's
shirt,
going on?
I think, because that's what I was trying to look, because a lot of people are posting videos making it seem like that dot wasn't there. But when I looked at the raw footage, it probably looks like a mic or something like that he had.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So maybe if something did happen, they're saying that the bullet or whatever made it switch over here. But
I don't
it's
know.
so
Here's
much.
the
much.
thing
One of those
too, is
things.
people move around so much during recordings. I don't know if that first frame he was wearing his ring on the ring finger, and then at a time we didn't notice, he's just fidgeting and put it on another finger.
No, the video
okay.
is literally
like one frame
like
to the
my
next.
man going,
Like within half a second.
getting shot, and his ring is on his
all I saw
pinky,
was still images.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't see,
like
So that was one of
an
the
actual
things.
frame by frame.
This is why,
play
like,
of
you
that.
know what, man? It's just I wish. So I'm like, let's just go back to a time where there wasn't video like this.
Right.
And,
No
and, you know,
phones, no
like,
nothing.
yo, my man got shot. He got assassinated. And yo, listen, man.
This is a JFK moment right here.
Yeah.
Because Charlie is that kind of savior for this generation.
Is he, though?
When it comes to the political stance and
I wouldn't say
that type
'cause
of crowd.
I don't think my man was that big.
No, Charlie was big, bro.
He was big, but he wasn't that big.
No, but Charlie, you got
JFK was a president. Like,
Nah,
the president's
yeah.
a different kind of a
yeah,
big.
but I'm not putting him on that type of level.
Okay.
But I'm just putting him on a level where free voice and standing up for that Republican side, standing up for truth and standing up for Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he
I don't know if you should tie all that together, but yeah,
no, but
I understand what you're saying.
but going to these college
You know what I'm saying?
campuses, and even though he was probably like 50-50 though. The 50% that loved him, then there was 50% that hated him.
Yeah, right.
But
you know,
go ahead.
I heard an interview. No, I think it was like reporters that were talking about the situation. They were crediting Trump's victory to this dude.
Right, he's
Really?
big.
That's how influential this cat
he's
was.
bigger than what people
he
did-
was
what
real
people
I
big.
think
think.
that people can say what they want to say. I knew his face more than I knew his name,
Yeah, I mean, just from
and I just seen from seeing
like
certain
we
things.
we have a short on our page,
Right.
That's almost got 4 million views.
Right. We have a
with
short,
that dude.
Yep.
Get what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, people know who he is.
Right.
No,
Look,
but
on
that's-
our page, we were
million?
posted. Yeah, we got like
million,
four. We
bro.
got four
It's
and change.
ridiculous. That
Yeah.
one's just like, how did that happen?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Most likely because of Kirk.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
We posted a short on our YouTube page with Charlie Kirk talking to. I labeled it a Satanist. He had like a Satanist shirt on, but that's whole whatever. But he was basically giving the gospel. The guy asked him, "Why does he believe?" And he said this. That video went crazy viral on our YouTube page. It's like
Yeah.
almost at 5 million views right now. So. Four, like 4 million views right now. You know, I gotta give a little extra, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost at like 4 million views, whatever it is, and that really like took our page to a different level. But like you said, Charlie's loved,
Known, yeah,
and
he's
Charlie
known.
is known.
Yep.
So even like the dude's young, he's 30-something years old.
He wasn't old. Dude.
Like me personally, before we go any further, like me and Jay had this conversation. Before I posted that video, I didn't do too much research on Charlie. After that, I started hearing a lot of things and what people were saying about him, and I did a little research. Me personally, and I'm not saying I know this for 100% fact, I believe Charlie is some type of a plant. I believe he goes in the same category as, what's her name again? The black chick?
Candace?
Candace
Candace
Owens.
Owens.
Yeah, Carson, Tucker, those kind of people. And I could be wrong about this, you know what I mean? But the man does go and profess Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? He goes around professing Christ, giving the gospel. To me personally, that doesn't really sway me because I feel like a wolf can do that. But that doesn't mean that I'm right in saying that, you know what I mean? Like a healthy balance, and my brothers may feel different, and we bounce ideas around. This is what we're supposed to do. So me thinking he's a plant doesn't say that he was in on this situation if it really was true. People are saying he was in on it or he wasn't in on it. That I don't know. You know what I mean? But I just want to let people know that we speak about these things because like we said, there are crisis actors. There are plants in the system. There is controlled opposition. And people may ask my reasons why I feel that way. We could get into that if we get into that, but I don't want this episode to just be on that. I want to talk about the broader picture.
You know what? Like when it comes to these things, like all I know is from what I know.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I don't know much about this dude, but I know that every time I seen it, probably because that's the type of stuff I'm following, you know, he's repping Jesus, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as far as, like, all this other stuff, like, to me, sometimes the hand signal stuff and the pictures, like, that's not enough for me to sway towards the other side at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, sometimes I sit like that without realizing it. Somebody could take a picture, yo, June's Illuminati. He's probably you know what I'm saying? And so I'm not really swayed by that as much as my brother. He might do more research on that subject. So I'm going to give him that. You know, but like, for as far as I know, he was a brother that stood for certain things that I stand for. Bottom line, when it comes to that homosexual agenda that everybody seems to be pushing, he stood 10 toes down on that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And when it came to Christ, he stood 10 toes down.
Yeah, he's a true. He has those beliefs of a true Republican. Like he stands on that. No, I'm not trying to separate it, but that's the stance. But like the political party, you got the Democrats and you got the.
So then, but my thing is like, so then you can say the same thing about us, right?
But we don't get into politics. But him, that's what he's known for.
No, I get.
So that's what I'm saying.
I understand that. But what
that's
I'm
why
saying,
people love him so much.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is that those stands, to me, he's just standing for truth.
Right.
If that's the part of the Republican stuff that they believe in, that's the
stuff that we agree on.
That's
right,
absolutely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's what I'm talking about. I'm sure there are many Christians who lean towards the Republican Party.
Right.
It's because they feel like they have to support the nation somehow.
Right, but nowadays
that's what they align themselves with.
Most of these Christians hate Trump, so they don't even. You know what I mean?
Another ballgame. It's like either or. You never know.
It's like it's crazy the time we're in right now.
They love Trump.
No. The
Christians
Democrats.
You said
Democrats. But I'm saying Christians. A lot of them are Christians. And
the Christian Democrats.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That you know what I mean?
So
again, that let's like we always say, that Christian word is thrown very loosely around.
What I want to say about this dude, right, is like when you just take the time to listen to dude, and people asking him questions, and right from the top, he's just responding and giving you the kinds of
intelligent
answers that he's giving you.
Yeah, he knows his stuff.
That demonstrates that what's inside, what's in his heart, what's in his mind, what's he learned in, right? He couldn't just be like reading from a script at that moment or being given someone feeding him the exact things to say at that moment. I truly believe he was a believer,
right,
and that he knew the gospel. My man was able to defend what he believed and demonstrate his faith that way. And I believe that a person who stands for truth in Jesus cannot so easily turn around and be doing something wicked behind the scenes. But again, there are people who do, right? But for me, that's just my opinion on the surface of this guy. I think he was a true believer, again, who decided to make a way in politics to be able to help the nation the way he thought could help the nation, and spread his faith and spread the gospel that way. When it comes to looking at the videos where people are suggesting that there was hand gestures that were giving the signals for when this thing was going down, like, for me, the guy who was standing to his right, it looked like he was just moving his arm like it might have been a bug on him. His shirt might have been folded in an uncomfortable way, but it looked like he just swung his arm like that at that moment, and people are making it look like he's doing like a baseball sign. You know what I'm saying? And it was weird to me. But I'm like, but it didn't look weird that he just went like that at that moment. I thought it was a genuine, just like a, And then the other guy who he fixed his hat, and then he kind of touched his face or whatever. Like again, to me, it wasn't something that I'm like, all right, that's a signal, or here it comes. This guy's giving two signals, and then this guy moves his arm, and then what is it, a 1, 2, 3? I don't know. It wasn't all at the same time. And for me, how many times people touch their faces in minutes. You know what I'm saying? The way that we move, all our little micro gestures that we're not even aware of, like. Those things that people are like getting real crazy with, I'm not really buying into. When I look at it, I watch it again and again and again and again, and it still is not looking like any kind of signal to me. So that's just where I stand with that. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say this. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I'm not saying that those were baseball signals or whatever, but they did look like baseball signals.
That's what I said
to me when I seen like, maybe because I watch baseball.
Yeah, I get you.
Maybe because I watch baseball. But my man, I felt like my man, like touched the tip of his brim, like.
But those are two different dudes.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about that man with the brim.
Yeah.
And he touched it, and the thing that was like weird for me when they pointed that out, I was like, because when I'm looking at the first dude, listen, if me and you are planning an assassination,
and we're in on something, right?
And I'm like, all right. He's going to tell you if that side is clear. I'm going to tell you if this side is clear, then you shoot. So I'm looking at it like, oh, snap. Because it was right after the other.
Yeah.
You might be right. But I'm not throwing that out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not throwing that out like it's impossible. I'm not.
No, I hear you.
Because when I'm looking at it, I was like, huh, interesting. Like, I mean, and then again, a regular touch on the face, but these dudes kind of look like they were. Yo, it looked a little bit. It looked a little bit extra for me.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe. Like again, all I know is I don't know nothing.
Same thing with the shirt. Like, I could understand how if you're trying to fake something, right, whatever, the prop pops underneath and pops your shirt out like that. But then there's also just the speed and momentum of the impact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And how and that happened really fast at impact. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really moved by the shirt.
Yeah, I
moving
wasn't
either.
moved by that. I was not moved.
Yeah.
You know,
see, that was
so-
one of the first things I saw, because even looking at it, like, I'm like, if the way this shirt like lifted up, to me it was like, it looked like the bullet hit him on his left,
Right.
on his left, right. So it looked like the shirt kind of went up like on the opposite side. I don't know. I'm not too. That's just one thing I paid attention to. But like I'm not gonna hang on that.
Yeah.
I do agree with Junie on the hand signs. Like I know some people were making it seem like it was straight a baseball. No, it wasn't that obvious.
Right.
But it was something that was like, and like you had the two men on one side, and then like I was pointing out, if you look to his left side, there was two other guys before it happened. One of the guys talked to the other guy. One of the guys spoke to the other guy, said something in his ear. Right after he said something in the ear, that's when the guy was like that. Then the shot rang off. And when it happened, everybody started scrambling. But like for a good 2 seconds, that dude who got told the message stood there like if he was already, like he was aware of what was going to happen. Stood there, seen it, and then played along. And then I don't know if he ran out or he ran in.
Back.
Because you couldn't see him anymore.
He just
you know
vanished.
what I mean? So
very strange, man.
I compare this to what happened with Trump when he got shot in the ear, supposedly.
Right.
Like, so if this, let's just say this was set up, this is the extent that they would go to put their agenda out there.
Yeah.
Where they, like you said before, the train thing was secluded. A couple people, that's easy to do.
Right.
This was a big, crazy rally, probably hundreds of thousands of people there, whatever. That's kind of hard to pull off if everybody's not involved. But even if a couple are involved and just blend it in, they can still make it happen.
I think that this is a total different situation.
Yeah.
I think that this was an assassin.
Right.
I believe that even if maybe those baseball guys were in on the assassin,
Right.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
and for me, like I told you,
who knows though?
Yeah, you
even
said that it
without
was
all
an
those
assassin.
signals,
Yeah.
it's still a staged thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Because of how dangerous what this guy is doing really is.
Right. It's
You know
not.
what I mean?
Well, when you say staged, you probably want to clarify that because staged.
Oh yeah, right. Not that he was in on it. No,
Right.
dude really died.
Or fake, right?
Like the event was set up.
Right.
It was set up.
Bro,
Right.
like we were talking about, we believe the government was involved in Martin Luther King, JFK,
Malcolm X, all of that.
We
All
believe that.
Right.
Yep.
This guy was
One of them enemies.
one of them.
You know,
yeah, you're
again.
an enemy. You're an enemy to our agenda.
Right.
You keep talking Jesus. We don't like that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And speaking out, like you said, against the homosexual agenda,
Right.
trans agenda, all
Right.
however you want to put that.
Now,
the
one of the
LGBTQ
things that I came across
stuff.
before what they were saying is that he started because he was pro-Israel, Charlie. Like I don't know if he's a Jew or not, but he went to Israel years ago and he has a picture on his Twitter page of him with the yarmulke on touching the wall. You know what I mean? So he was pro-Israel, but the stuff I was hearing today was saying that he started to speak out against Israel and about the stuff that's going on. I guess with the stuff going on with what's going on with what just recently happened where Israel was starving Afghanistan, was it?
No, the Gaza people.
Gaza, starving people.
Palestinians.
So supposedly he started to talk about them and he was telling his close people, I'm starting to speak out against them and I feel like they're going to try to do something because now I'm speaking out against them. This is just another theory that's going out there, not saying it's true, but these are things that are going out there.
Yeah.
So could that have had any play into
Possibly.
it?
Yo, and I mean, if you hear some of the way these people speak about Christians,
Right.
they're like,
they
they
hate-
should be
yeah,
killed.
they hate it.
They should be
They
killed.
persecute Christians if you go when Christians go
Right.
out there preaching the gospel.
Yeah,
Straight
yeah,
hardcore,
Spit on
like,
them,
Oh,
throw
man,
stuff
it's
at
getting
them,
worse.
hit them.
Yep.
It seems
Right.
like it's getting worse.
Yep.
Right.
He said like anyone who thinks or says that God could become a man
Right.
should be killed.
Should be, yep, should die. Yep.
Should be killed. That's straight up.
They think they call us blasphemers for the simple fact that we think the Messiah came already when they're still waiting for a Messiah.
Right.
You know?
Wow.
But yeah, so let's not get off topic. But that was one of the things that was out there. as far as like me, like we all agree it was staged. You guys feel that he wasn't in on it. Me, I don't know if he was or he wasn't. But if I want to just play on the other side of it, could it be possible that he was in on it and faked his own death, or could it have been something where it was a blood sacrifice or a ritual? Because these things do go on. Now, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but on the other side of that, because people will think and say, why would you say that, Darius? And for those who don't know, like I said, we spoke about crisis actors, we spoke about controlled opposition, we spoke about people claiming to be something that they're really not. Could he have just like played a position where on some Epstein stuff where people think he's dead now, but he's really not dead? Because that's the story that's going on with Epstein.
Wow.
Epstein's not dead?
That's the story that's going
I don't
on.
know.
Same thing like with Tupac. Tupac faked his own death.
Right.
So
Machiavelli.
I
he
say
told
that
Again, this is all
speculation.
Yeah, speculation.
But let's not completely.
Because they're probably like, yo, these guys.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Turn this off.
But
real.
let's not completely throw it away, because even with the Tupac thing, Tupac named himself what?
Machiavelli.
What was the secret code behind Machiavelli?
Machiavelli was somebody who faked his death.
Right. And when you unspell Machiavelli, what does it spell? If you unscramble it, I'm alive.
Oh, I'm alive.
The story with Tupac was like, because he started to go against the elite. This is what,
He
right?
put you up on something new.
Right.
I've never heard that in my life.
So if you unscramble Machiavelli, you can spell I'm alive.
I'm alive.
So the story with Tupac is he started to go against the elite, which he was. And Tupac was a powerful man, bro. He was like a Michael Jackson of hip hop. So he had a lot of people who were following him, huh?
I don't know if I.
You don't think so?
Because he said
He was powerful in the hip hop community. You don't think Pac was a Michael Jackson in the hip hop community at that time?
Jackson.
Not saying he was Michael
but, you know,
Jackson, but he was
one of.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
One of.
Yeah,
there's
that's
there's
what I
only
mean.
one king of pop. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not comparing him and
No, I
saying
know
he
what
was
you're
bigger
saying.
than
I know,
Michael,
just messing
but
around.
in the hip hop
I don't know.
category, he was
that
bigger
big.
like
He
that.
was that big.
I don't believe that he faked this.
But
I believe he died.
I'm not saying he did, but this is what's going on. But I'm not. But there are people who do that, and they're powerful enough to do so. And I'm saying this so conspiracy wave right now. There was a Corona commercial that came out a couple years ago, and in the Corona commercial, they have all these celebrities that died, but they have them stashed away on a specific island.
Yeah,
and they're
I
drinking
remember
the
that.
Coronas.
Yeah,
They had Tupac there. They had a lot of
Was
celebrities.
Biggie there?
I don't know if Biggie was there. I don't remember.
One thing that crosses Tupac for me, right off of that board, was again his stance in politics. He was at one point talking about establishing a party, another party.
Yeah. Going
Not
against the grain.
Democrats, not
Right, yeah,
Republicans,
right.
but another party for the people.
Right.
And that right there puts that target on your back.
Right, and not
that's
only
why
that,
I think he got
his
hit.
mother was part of the Black Panthers,
yeah.
Right.
So there's a lot of deep stuff that goes in. But I'm just saying, don't throw away that there are people who can fake their death, like even celebrities at that high point. Whether it's them having enough power to do it to get away, or whether it's part of the agenda. I don't, you know what I mean? Like it sounds crazy,
the
but
only person that I believe that isn't dead, that they said is dead, is hold on, let's pause. I'm getting a brain fart.
so I think about it. Was it actor, rapper, singer?
No. It was Bin Laden.
Bin Laden. Okay, that's another one too.
Bin Laden.
That's another one.
They don't never have his body. They said they threw it to sea. There's a reason.
They don't blame 9/11 on him, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
and there's a lot of
to my
conspiracies
point,
behind that.
It's possible.
But
you know
I'm
what I
just
mean?
saying that to say that, you know.
But anyway,
I'm not saying I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
I don't believe Pac
Yeah.
is around.
But anyway, not to get off topic. But
yeah.
Charlie was Charlie a part of it? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying let's keep an open mind on everything. Everything is possible. You know what I mean? That's the mentality we gotta have.
Right.
But
until we know something that we can stamp.
Right.
100% facts. We just saying all these things are out there. All these ideas, all these theories, all these conspiracies are out there. And yeah, you know.
Couple things to touch on too. The whole ring situation. What did they call it? What kind of ring did they say it was? It was some kind of ring. So the ring, people started talking about the ring situation because before he gets shot, he has the ring on his wedding finger, and then after he gets shot,
It's on his pinky.
seconds
It
later,
said-
it's on his pinky.
My man said it was a hinge ring.
So
Which
somebody,
has an opening.
right?
So you can move it easily without taking it off.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Now- But with
Speculation.
that, even if we watch the video, Charlie did say something, put the mic down, had his hand like that, boom, right away. Even if that was true and he did have that ring on, because that video they showed, it wasn't that video. So if he did have that ring on, I don't think he had enough time to switch it. anyway, at that moment. Everything happened so fast. He was like, da-da-da-da-da. Boom. I don't think there was enough time for him to be like, and switch it off.
But what they're saying with the hindering is that it was
You could
maybe
slide it?
open. No, it opens up.
You can, you can,
kind of like,
yeah.
Move
the way the guy was trying to explain it, like, with the impact, he went to the pinky. And,
Yeah, no, that's bull.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe
I'm
that
just saying
part.
that's
Yeah.
another thing that's out there
Right.
when it comes to the ring, the video with the ring.
How do you guys feel about the shirt situation? That he had a shirt that said freedom, right? And after he got shot, you see the F, and they're saying CGI because the F went away, and then it comes back and it comes back into to the picture.
I honestly
look at
I didn't
that.
see that video.
I
so
saw
don't
that
know.
one. That's another thing that's flowing around. What else? Anything else? So we touched the shirt. We touched the black thing going on the other
Mic,
side.
right.
What else? What else was there that we just?
All right, so it's possible that the
ring,
videos
that's
we've
us.
been seeing are already edited,
could be.
already AI.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
It's a very big
Touch.
possibility.
Then there was another thing I saw after the shooting. This was probably like 10, 15 minutes after the shooting. They had people on the stage where Charlie got shot at, fixing everything, taking stuff down. And people are like, why are they playing with the evidence? You know what I mean? Like, nothing should be getting touched. And I got the video too, but everybody just over there taking stuff down. And they're like, nobody should even be able to be in that area. It should be
Right.
taped off. People looking for the evidence.
Who knows,
so
man?
this is another thing. Now, last and least, so we can leave this alone. As we were having this text messages, I sent you the link about what people started to talk about the book. So Charlie got murdered September 9th, 2020, September 10th, 2025. Obviously, today's 9/11, which is not a coincidence. Amazon had published a book of his assassination on Amazon on September 9th.
The book is called The Shooting of Charlie Kirk, right?
The Shooting of Charlie Kirk by, hold on. The Shooting of Charlie Kirk, a comprehensive account of the Utah Valley University attack. And this was by a woman called, Anastasia J. Cassie. That's the person who did this book. But people are like, he got murdered and shot on the 10th. Yeah. How on Amazon the day before there's a book already published on his assassination? And I'm looking at comments and people are like, yo, I just went to it and it's true. It's on the 9th. It's people are going crazy. So as I'm talking to Jason through text message on this, I go myself. I'm like, I want to go see it. So I plug it in and it comes up. You see the books. I'm like, at first I didn't put everything word for word. I put Charlie Kirk's assassination book on Amazon, and they came up and you seen a couple different books. One of the other books was something that was published the day of or the day after, which is today. But it's crazy. I seen the book, then I clicked on it. And when I clicked on it, it said, oops, sorry, you can't click on this. And it gave it an Amazon little dog. I'm like, what the heck? It's crazy. So I'll go back to the comments. I see mad people talking about it again. Then I'm like, you know what? Let me go back and check it out. And I put the specific person, the name and everything. This time, they completely took it off. You can't even see the book anymore now.
Right. That's
So I'm like, yo, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, it's very
You feel
strange.
what I'm saying?
Very strange.
What do you think about that, Jason?
it's kind of wild.
That's
man.
kind of wild right there. That one. That one was the one that was like, what's going on,
Yeah.
bro?
Very
So-
strange stuff, man.
But again, all
Like,
theories
you-
and speculations.
there's so many things with that. The amount of time it takes to write a book,
That's what everybody was saying.
That's what I'm
to
saying.
get it published through your handlers or whatever, and then to have it up there the day before it actually happens.
Some people were in defense trying to say that, the AI did the book, and if you want to publish a book, you could change the date and put whatever date you want on it when it's published. I mean, at the end of the day, it was out. No matter
AI
what date you
can't
want to
create a
put,
book, though.
it was out on the
Doesn't like
9th.
that.
Absolutely.
Right. You know what I mean? So,
But it's just, bro, it was published on the 9th.
right. Exactly. No
died on the
ways
10th.
around
Come on
it.
now.
So,
Wild
there's
stuff.
a lot more that's going on with this, but we just wanted to touch on it. And again, man, keep your eyes open, everybody. Anybody want to do an outro as far as this particular
stay
episode?
prayerful. Stay prayerful.
Yeah, that's
Trying to
it,
think
man.
If there's anything, yeah,
Listen, man.
And
Pray
you know
before
what?
you got any kind of anything that comes in your mind that you feel is a fact. I advise you to pray about it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Ask God for the answers. And sometimes you're not going to get the answers, but just, if anything, pray that God will give you the wisdom in how to react to these things,
Right.
and how to search out the truth. And that's
What I want to say is, for people who took the opportunity to get nasty, right?
I'm so glad you brought this up because
the TMZ laughing, people
glad
laughing in the back and then having to clean that up
Yeah.
when they were told that Kirk got shot. He was assassinated. People celebrating, laughing,
Yeah.
clapping,
Right.
because of their political stance.
Right.
And just
Right.
like however you might feel about somebody, like that's not the attitude that Christians should have.
Right.
Well, definitely.
Forget a Christian,
Right.
not even a Christian, but
just
anybody
people.
in general,
No
but
doubt,
especially
no
a
doubt, but
Christian.
we
Yeah,
know
but especially
Right.
you ain't gonna touch everybody out there.
doubt, no doubt.
But if you're a Christian, I don't care what your political stance is.
Right.
Bro, Jay, I'm
Like,
so glad you brought
There's
that
a
up,
decent
bro.
way to be. But go ahead,
Because
my
you
bro.
know what? I'm just talking about friends on Facebook. My personal friends on Facebook. You know, the Democrats, it's always the Democrats versus the Republicans. The whole political Facebook, where everybody's a freaking political genius,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
all of a sudden. But it's not all of a sudden because it's always like that. But I want to send a message out to those type of people, not just my Facebook friends, but to everybody, bro. You need to check the hatred in your heart, my good brother.
Yeah, for real.
Because
Period.
regardless of if this was staged, regardless if Charlie Kirk was in on it or if he wasn't, regardless if Charlie Kirk is a plant or he's a wolf in sheep clothing or if he's not, if he's a man of God, for you to sit there and celebrate somebody's death and talk about things such as, oh, it's a great day in America, one less person that's spreading hate out there.
Yeah.
For you to be people like in TMZ laughing about this, people all over the internet, oh yeah, he got murdered, da 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 da. Even I'm seeing some Christians even posting about it to the point where they're starting to bring up old clips of him saying racist things about black people, whatever the case is, whether it's in context or not. The simple fact that you got to go that deep in order to justify your hatred for another human being and celebrate his death is disgusting.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm so adamant about it, bro, because these are the type of people sometimes it'd be hard for me to pray for them, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I have to pray for these people because I got to deny myself. But them hateful people, bro, and that just spew hate all day and have darkness in your heart, bro, it'd be hard for me to pray for y'all, bro. But I get on my knees and I pray for y'all, bro, because I see what y'all doing and y'all better check yourself, because if you guys don't have a change of mind and a change of heart on that day of judgment, bro, God is gonna have his way with you, bro. Because at the end of the day, Christ said it's not even about if you physically kill somebody. If you hated somebody in your heart, you committed murder, bro.
Yep. And the same measure you use
It's going to be used against you, bro.
Amen.
And all my Facebook friends that are here celebrating and just being sarcastic and throwing out this stuff, it's crazy because I'm going to say it like this. I don't care who'll get mad. If that was a black man who got murdered, y'all be going crazy, just like y'all did for Floyd. And Black Lives Matter, going up to City Hall, getting on your knees, laying down on your stomach, talking about Black Lives Matter. When y'all had y'all Christian people from our town who supposedly represent Jesus Christ going and talking and doing stuff. Where y'all at now? Charlie Kirk is supposed to be a Christian man.
Real Christian.
Right, because whatever you feel about this man, he's proclaiming Christ. So at the end of the day, that's your brother. Why ain't you speaking up now?
Right.
Where's all the protests at now? Even with old girl who got stabbed in the train. I guarantee if that was a black person who got stabbed, y'all have been going crazy.
Yep.
But everybody's shut about that. Nobody's saying nothing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
And now I'm seeing everybody starting this war again, because now it's all Democrats against Republicans, and it's everybody on social media is beefing. And it's all because of politics.
Yep.
I'm like, yo, what are y'all doing? Talking about this is gonna start a war now. Let's
Civil
go.
war, yeah.
Yo, and not even that, but even with Charlie Kirk, even the Christians, bro, I see a lot of people idolizing this man too, putting him like on the pedestal, like this guy he's the one starting this, and there's gonna be a lot of Charlie Kirks raised too. Make sure that you ain't idolizing this man, bro, because that only belongs to Christ. But I just wanted to vent on that because I almost forgot, and I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to end like that. People are really going crazy, bro.
That's how it
Real
started.
talk.
It started. This episode started with me saying that that's the first thing I saw. People's hatred on social media,
Yep.
and it ends the same way because at the end of the day, where's the love, man?
Right.
Where's the love with humanity? Yo,
Right.
I don't even think we need to speak to the Christians. That's not even
Right.
that's like, bro, Jesus is love, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you something right now. If there's no love there, you ain't a Christian.
Right.
Right.
I don't care how you feel.
Right.
Right.
That's just a fact, bro.
Word up.
Christians would talk. I just told Teresa this today. The difference between a Christian back in biblical times when they were called Christians is because they were moving like Christ,
Right.
bro. When people saw them, they were like, those are the followers of Jesus because they moved a certain way.
Right.
Right.
Nowadays, because you say you're a Christian because you go to church on Sunday,
Right.
that ain't it.
Word
No.
up.
It ain't it.
Think
yo.
about 1 John, right? You so much as hate, right? Your brother in your heart.
Right.
You never knew him.
Exactly.
You still walking in darkness.
Right.
Read 1 John.
Right. Word is born. And bro, Like you know, like Christ said, I'm making a new commandment, bro. Like you better love somebody. And like what did he say? He said, love your neighbor like
as
yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Like lay your life down. He was adding to the commandment with just love your neighbor as yourself. He was like, bro, like in 1 John 2, I think it was. He was like, bro, the greatest love is for you to lay your life down for another man, not even just another believer, but somebody. Like, would you be able to lay your life down like Christ laid his life down for all these sinners? No, but you celebrating a man's death, bro. Because if you seen a person like that, like a dude like Charlie, something was gonna happen, y'all would probably sit there and just look at there and laugh like he got what he deserved, because people are bringing up this meme or this video where he was talking about something about being being killed with a gun or something, and then now they're bringing stuff up like, oh, look at how ironic is that's how he died. Like, y'all make me sick, bro.
They don't understand. You know, he was talking about how many death threats he's gotten already.
Right.
You know, how many situations he's already been in because of the kinds of things that he does. You know?
Right, and I'm not over here like fully 100% behind Charlie, because y'all already know. I already explained to you how I feel. But just seeing how y'all hearts are, bro, like you over here literally laughing and celebrating another man's death, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
Evil,
like
evil.
Crazy. Pure evil, bro. All of y'all, bro. And I'm telling y'all that because, bro, hell is real, bro. And I'm half of y'all, like on my social media, a lot of y'all ain't believers anyway. That's another thing. Y'all need to get that right. You know what I'm saying?
And it's wild because, like, there's a lot of Christians who think it's okay to be patriots. And again, the word of God is against patriotism. So if you think that, you know, you're serving the God of the Bible, the Lord Jesus Christ, but yet still being a patriot and idolizing your nation, and and then, you know, pledging and doing all these things to your nation, you got another thing coming, because God is not at all for patriotism. And again, you know, we only serve one king.
Absolutely.
As Christians, we should only be serving one king. What's our nation? What's our country? It's heaven, for sure. The kingdom of heaven. You know, Jesus wasn't promoting Israel when he was down here. He wasn't pushing for that. Whatever their agendas were. And there were zealots in Israel in his day who were all about that. Patriots for their own land. And Jesus did not align himself with zealots. Instead, he swayed them to his cause. And so promoted the kingdom of God in heaven. That's where we need to be at. But anyway, bro. So it don't matter if you know, if you're a believer and you get into politics in terms of, well, you vote this way because of their politics or their the way they move, you vote that way for the way they move, all well and good. But when it comes to what comes first, Christ or your nationality
or nationality, all that,
it's like it has to be Christ, or else you're all the way off. And you're all the way off.
Let me just be clear when it comes to this. I had a conversation with a Christian a few months back about these back and forths with the Republicans and the Democrats and the Christian Republicans. And I was explaining to her, like, do you think now, after you going Trump, that you could walk up to that Democrat and preach Christ?
Word.
What is the mission, bro?
Right.
Because if your mission is to preach Trump, it ain't to preach Christ.
Exactly.
And that Democrat that hates Trump ain't listening to you no more, yo.
Yeah, you lost him.
And God told you to be crafty, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you out there on social media representing Trump on your shirt and Trump this and Trump that, and you ain't giving them no Christ, bro. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of Christians need to check themselves when it comes to that. Take a step back, bro. And for one, man, go back to where your politics was in silence, bro. You know, they used to say, oh, you separate the church and politics, and you don't talk about. As Christians, we gonna talk about Christ. But that politics crap, man, bury that, man. Nobody needs to know who you voted for. Nobody cares. Christ don't care. I know that. You know what I'm saying? I leave it at that.
I mean, when he comes, he's putting the foot on the neck of whichever king you like.
Exactly.
So,
and they all gonna be against him. They all gonna be against him, right? Red or blue, it don't matter, man.
So guys, we're gonna leave it there, but I'm glad that Jay brought that up because I almost forget. And Junie opened it up with that, and I set a reminder, but I forgot. So that's what's up, guys. But anyway, man. Again, we ain't planting our flag nowhere. We're talking to you about what's floating on out there, and you know we take a step back, we value everything, we review everything, and we talk about it, and we see what's going on. when we tell you something, it's not, oh, this is what it is. It's about, no, this is what's being talked about. We ain't never gonna know fully what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But my last message is for those people, man, who are spewing out evil, because sometimes these things are a test right here to test who you really are. But a brother, sister in Christ too, especially for you, because you over here talking about I'm a believer in Christ, but if a person ain't black like you are, you ain't rocking with them. You know what I mean? Because guarantee if it was Obama who supposedly got shot a couple months ago, y'all be going in a frenzy. But a lot of y'all, when Trump got shot, y'all was sitting back low-key happy, hoping that they hit him in the temple. Let's keep it a buck. And that's coming from a black man. But a lot of y'all have turned race, have become prejudiced. And I ain't afraid to say it. You know what I mean? But check y'all heart, bro. Because you shouldn't be celebrating no man's death. You shouldn't be celebrating the worst person's death for nothing, bro. You sit back and you pray for that person. If you ain't a praying person, a believer, bro, you sit there and at least be respectful. You feel me? Anyway, I'm Darius Giles, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, you can find us at U.G.L.Yeshua. My personal information on social media is Darius JCITB TV Giles. All truth is important because the truth will set you free. All truth leads to Christ. Yeshua said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Big blessings. Till next time.
What's good besides God? That's nothing. Man, I'm just going to say this, man. Stay vigilant. Stay prayed up. I'm Junie, and I'm going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. God bless.
May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance toward you and give you peace. God bless y'all.